to talk with you really briefly today about how in communications and PR I can help you with promoting your work. As Dr. Scott was saying, I know it's becoming even more competitive. And so I don't normally put as much text on slides, but since we only have a few minutes, I thought you all could kind of read through. But one of the things we're doing is moving more into an area of brand journalism, which means that we are basically making our own content in news and sharing that externally instead of waiting on advertising or traditional media clips to promote the work that you all are doing. And obviously, as you know, supporting our reputation here at Michigan Medicine is crucial and part of my job every day. And the reason why we're moving more into this brand journalism style of promotion and public relations is we really have less money for marketing, and traditional advertising is becoming more and more expensive. And as you all know, social media is really running the show nowadays. And so this is a way for us to get into that landscape a little bit more. And quite frankly, a lot of the media are cutting back on how many reporters and journalists are out there. And so this is a way for us to promote our own stories in hopes that they will still pick up that work. So two sites that I would recommend that you check out that are linked from uofmhealth.org are Michigan Health Lab and Michigan Health Blog, which are two new platforms for sharing research on the lab site. And then on the health blog, we share more consumer content. So these are tips and tricks, not tricks, but tips for patients that they can use in their everyday life. So I just wanted to show you an example. So we're taking what used to be a traditional press release and making this more into our own newsroom. And as you can see, the story on the left is the one that I wrote and put on our website, and it was picked up by Newsweek. But I put this slide in here specifically to show you that the look and feel is what we're going for, and we're creating our own newsroom here. As you can see, it's very similar, and these press releases are still resulting in great pickup by local media, but we're able to engage with audiences ourselves as well. And then also an interesting thing that's been happening is this was a great topic that I just worked on recently, why more men get vasectomies during March Madness. But what's interesting about this is that it was picked up by Yahoo Sports, but when they quoted where they got the quotes from and the information, they actually quoted our website, Michigan Health, as the source. So we're actually serving as a news source for the news themselves. And also wanting to develop that targeted, engaged audience, as I mentioned. And so we're continually on social trying to get in touch with influential physicians, scientists, journals, and others who are working in healthcare. And so these are just a few examples. If you follow us on Twitter, the main Michigan Medicine account is at @UMichMedicine, but we also have a Twitter account for M Health Lab, which is @MHealthLab. And I really strongly suggest that you start following that because that's where we post all of the latest research from the institution. And these are just some examples of folks who follow that account and are retweeting and are engaging with the content that we are putting out there. These are some more examples. We're moving also into engaging with other physicians and scientists and health policy workers. So it's a really powerful platform that we're developing. And since I know you all are scientists at heart, I thought I would include some results. So far on our sites, we've featured 841 unique U of M experts, which has resulted in 3.4 million page views to our sites, which is pretty incredible. We're seeing a great increase in social audience, and we do email digests with all of the articles that are posted, and we're seeing a 13% higher email open rate than average email newsletters for healthcare and education sectors. And of course, we're always concerned about what our competition is doing. And this idea of brand journalism is something that top academic medical centers across the country are also investing in. But we have some differentiators here at Michigan Medicine, which is that we have high quality engagement, which you'll see in a minute from some of our social audiences. And we have that target audience approach. So by having two different sites where we're making content easier for consumers to understand, and then also focusing on research that your fellow physicians and media may be interested in, we're able to kind of drill down and get to each audience specifically. And as you can see on the right, our competitors don't look as great as we do. They don't have that same graphic artist touch, and they're just not as built out as we are. And this is just a quick example to show you on social. The Michigan Health Lab Facebook page, while we don't have as many followers as, say, a Mayo Clinic, our engagement rates are considerably higher than theirs, which means that's people who are actually going through, clicking through to our content, reading our posts, and interested in engaging with that content. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. These are the websites for each, and again, and they're on uofmhealth.org. And I'm happy to always discuss research that you have coming out or grants that need promotion. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, okay, sure.
I just wanted to let everybody know, Kylie has been working with Dr. Christina Cutter to live tweet events from today's Barson Research Forum. This is an important medium for getting your work out there and getting the researcher, the research team, the system recognition. And I would really encourage you to give Kylie a email or tweet for those of us who are not quite so tweet savvy.
Email's fine.
Email is fine, but it's really worthwhile from both a career and institutional perspective. So thank you very much for taking your time today to present to us.
I have to ask a question.
Sure.
So I've seen more and more, obviously with the leadership of the country, but researchers themselves directly using Twitter to promote their own work, either when they're giving a national talk or when they publish papers or get grants. Do you have any advice or support for that kind of work, for investigators having their own Twitter account and then using that to get the word out?
Yes, we are completely comfortable with that. The one thing that we ask folks not to do, though, from the Department of Communication standpoint, is to start their own Twitter accounts for U of M branded sectors or like residency accounts and such without talking to us first. Just because if it has the U of M brand, we want to make sure that it's with brand compliance, it's following our brand guidelines. But yes, we are actually encouraging physicians to go out and have their own Twitter account. And when you're at national conferences, that's a perfect example of when you're in front of other physicians and can, engage with them on content going on. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So for people who are working on research projects and they're grant funded, if they were to tweet, even if they weren't using the University of Michigan brand, are the requirements for referencing the grant or providing source of funding or financial disclosures or anything, are those something people should include in a tweet?
I can't necessarily answer that question. I guess it depends. What I've been told is it depends on your grant and what kind of regulations you have to go through, if that makes sense. It depends, like if we're doing a press release, like for example, Dr. Cunningham mentioned this morning, I'm working with her on that release, and so that goes through NIH with their media person to check and make sure that they're comfortable with the language. So I would recommend if you're doing more intensive work and drilling down into it, that you would check in with your project officer and make sure that they're comfortable with that. Does that help?
No, I think that sounds right for some of the things, because a lot of times for us, I know before we share information on funded material, someone wants to see it, or they want you to make sure that whoever's funding it provides the proper crediting and resourcing. Thanks.
Sure. Yep.